The COVID gap in education has caused a dramatic and measurable decline in educational outcomes for children across the U.S., with Arizona experiencing particularly sharp setbacks in math and reading proficiency, as well as chronic absenteeism.
I was in first grade, and when it happened, it was just really scary.
I mean, the whole world shut down, so we all had to reinvent the wheel.
COVID had a lot of bad effects on education, especially with students and their learning gaps.
According to the Arizona Department of Education, statistics show that for subsets of students, math proficiency was down 11%, reading was down 4%, and chronic absenteeism doubled from 13 to 26%. These drops accounted for more than half a school year's worth of learning loss.
I think it's a slow recovery process. I think especially once a learning gap happens, it's very hard to close it because you always want to make that year's worth of growth, but if you're making a year's worth of growth because that's what we're giving students, they're still keeping that learning gap. So the goal is to really be able to help students make more than that year's worth of growth. Hey, Yellow Bird, how can I help you? We are an online academy that is available for students grades kinder through 12th grade. We have two programs. Our first program is a teacher-led program. It's just like going to a brick and mortar school, but you do it online via Zoom. Our second program is a self-paced program available for students in 6th through 12th grade. This allows students to work at their own pace. I think some students are feeling behind and afraid to reach out in those larger classrooms. So being able to provide that self-paced learning where students can get one-on-one tutoring on a daily basis if they so choose to do that allows them to work in an environment that is helpful to them.
Hey Liliana, this is Mr. S over at TUVA. Just wanted to check in, see how you're doing.
It's critical because if it wasn't for that virtual environment, a lot of students would lose meaningful access to education.
We've missed seeing him for class. Just want to make sure he's doing okay.
I'm getting a lot more opportunities to work with our at-risk youth on the self-paced side. So maybe students who have chronic medical conditions and they're not able to be in a traditional classroom. Maybe young parents who don't have access to childcare during the day, or just students who are supporting their families, they need to work full time. So in the self-paced arena, a lot more opportunities to work with that student population.
Vulnerable groups, including students of color, English learners, and homeless students, have disproportionately been affected, underscoring the urgent need for targeted interventions to address these gaps.
We really try and look at our data and manage what students are being successful and students that aren't. Start reaching out to those families, start reaching out to those students to see what we can do to help them be successful.
Lots of social emotional checks, checking for understanding on what they're working on, adding things to make things more interesting or differentiating it so it works with their interests.
We noticed as schools were starting to go back to in-person learning that some families were not ready to do so. And so being able to have that environment that is going to best suit you, where you're not going to have those distractions from other students, allows you to do better in school.
So please follow along. If I'm cutting out, let me know.
It's honestly better for me than in person because, in here it's just you have your own office, you have peace and quiet, there's no disruptions.
Where do scientists think this? Does someone have an idea?
COVID changed things for a lot of parents. And for me and my family, we just adjusted and did it differently. I'm not only his teacher at times, I'm his lunch lady, I'm his custodian, I'm his principal. Sometimes I have to be those different hats. And I maintain a full-time job at home. Okay.
During COVID, it changed, it was different. And then eventually I went to online school and here I am now, still online, and I haven't gone back in person.
As a parent, I was getting shamed too. What about his social skills? And that was something that I felt strongly about to support him. I'm part of the PTO for the school. And now we're doing in-person events. We got to go to the park and go see each other and play and, interact.
I learned kickball. I didn't know it at first, but we played it and I got the hang of it.
Parents are different, and I think that the parents should choose for their child what's best for their child and how they're going to thrive.
According to a 30-state analysis from Arizona State University, while educational recovery has been slow, the average student has recovered about a third of their pandemic-era learning losses in math and a quarter in reading, meaning the average American student is less than halfway to a full academic recovery.
There was a time we were in a canyon coming out of the pandemic, but thankfully starting to see proficiency, not where it was 4 years ago, but seeing a healthy data trend line heading up.
So while researchers believe that students' learning could eventually catch up, they also add that the effects of the pandemic, along with recent changes to education on a national level, will have lasting negative effects on educational equality.
It's a digital society, and I don't think it's ever going to go backwards. It's just going to become more and more digital, and having that education online is allowing them those opportunities to start faster than everybody else.
One thing I learned is that kids are resilient. You know, they really are. And our motto at TUVA is dream big, and they're dreaming big. They're going to be doing some great things. I have high hopes for them.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thanks so much for watching this story from our show. And for more local stories from Arizona Illustrated, just click right here.